Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to Pericles, Prince of Tyre. I am Pemberton. This is part 3 short, and the very heart of the play. Gower shows us the wedding night and the voyage home, and then Neptune tears up the itinerary. In the worst of the tempest, the nurse Lycurida puts a newborn girl into Pericles' arms and tells him his queen is dead, and the sailors, with a hard practicality of their trade, insist the dead woman go overboard before the storm claims them all. So Thaisa is sealed in a cork chest with spices, jewels, and a letter, and given to the sea. But the sea in this play keeps better faith than kings do. The chest comes ashore at Ephesus, at the door of Cerimon, a lord who has spent his fortune learning medicine rather than spending it on himself, and what follows is one of the great resurrection scenes of the stage. Let us go on.
Now sleep has cooled the revels down. There is no noise in the house, but snoring, made louder by the over chests of those who feasted at the splendid wedding. The cat, with eyes like burning coals, crouches before the mouse's hole. The crickets sing by the oven's mouth, livelier for the dryness there. Hymen has brought the bride to bed, where, by the loss of maidenhead, a child is formed. Attend, and with your lively imaginations help out time that is so briefly spent. What is silent in the show, I will explain with speech. Pericles and Simonides enter at one door with attendants. A messenger meets them, kneels, and gives Pericles a letter. Pericles shows it to Simonides. The lords kneel to Pericles. Then Thaisa enters, pregnant, with Lycurida, a nurse. The king shows her the letter. She rejoices. She and Pericles take leave of her father, and depart with Lycurida and their attendants. Then Simonides and the rest leave. Through many a dark and painful search for careful Pericles, made in all four corners that bind the world together, every diligence is used that horse sail, and great expense can give the quest. At last, from Tyre, answering the strangest inquiry, letters are brought to the court of King Simonides, and this is their substance. Antiochus and his daughter are dead. The men of Tyrus would place the crown of Tyre upon the head of Helicanus, but he refuses it. He hurries to put down their mutiny, and tells them that if King Pericles does not come home within 12 months, then, obedient to their judgment, he will take the crown. The news, brought here to Pentapolis, delighted all the lands around, and every one clapped and cried, "Our heir apparent is a king! Who dreamed, who thought of such a thing?" In short, Pericles must depart for Tyre. His queen, being with child, desires to go with him, and who shall cross her wish? We pass over all their sorrow and farewells. She takes Lycurida, her nurse, and so they go to sea. Their vessel trembles on Neptune's waves. Their keel has cut through half the flood, but fortune changes mood again. The grey north wind pours out such a tempest that, like a duck diving for life, the poor ship is driven up and down. The lady shrieks, and nearly falls into labor from her fear. What follows in this cruel storm shall perform itself. I will not tell it. Action may conveniently convey the rest, which could not be shown if I related all. Hold in your imagination that this stage is the ship upon whose decks Pericles appears to speak.
Now we cross into the part most scholars hear as Shakespeare's own hand. The earlier machinery has rattled agreeably enough under George Wilkins, tavern keeper and pamphleteer, but here the sea begins doing what it does in the late romances. It tears a household apart, keeps the receipts, and eventually, with divine patience, returns what human folly has misplaced.
Gower exits. Pericles enters on shipboard. You god of this great vast sea, rebuke these waves that wash both heaven and hell, and you who command the winds, bind them in brass, since you have called them from the deep. Still your deafening, dreadful thunder, gently quench your quick sulphurous flashes. O Lycurida, how is my queen? The storm is venomous. Will it spit out all its fury? The seaman's whistle is like a whisper in the ears of death, unheard. Lycurida, O Lucina, most divine patroness and gentle midwife to those who cry out in the night, bring your deity aboard our dancing boat. Make my queen's labor swift. Now Lycurida. Lycurida enters with an infant. Here is a thing too young for such a place, one that, if it had understanding, would die as I am likely to do. Take into your arms this piece of your dead queen. What? What, Lycurida? Patience, good sir. Do not help the storm. Here is all that remains alive of your queen, the little daughter. For her sake, be manly and take comfort. O you gods! Why do you make us love your beautiful gifts, and snatch them straight away? We here below do not take back what we give, and in that we may compete with you in honor. Patience, good sir, even for this charge you now must care for. Now may your life be mild. No baby ever had a more blustering birth. May your nature be quiet and gentle, for you have been given the roughest welcome to this world that ever greeted a prince's child. May what follows be happy. Your birth has been announced with as harsh a scolding as fire, air, water, earth, and heaven can make to herald you from the womb. Even at first, your loss is more than all you can carry here can ever repay. Now may the good gods cast their best eyes upon it. 2 sailors enter. What courage, sir? God save you. Courage enough. I do not fear the blast. It has already done its worst to me. Yet for love of this poor infant, this fresh new sea, fairer, I wish it would grow calm. Slack the bowlines there. You will not, will you? Lo then, and split yourself. Give me some room, and though the brine and cloudy waves kiss the moon, I do not care. Sir, your queen must go overboard. The sea runs high, the wind is loud, and it will not settle until the ship is cleared of the dead. That is your superstition. Pardon us, sir. With us at sea it has always been observed, and we hold strongly to custom. Therefore quickly yield her to us, for she must go overboard at once. As you think fit. Most wretched queen. Here she lies, sir. A terrible child but you have had, my dear. No light, no fire. The unfriendly elements have utterly forgotten you. Nor do I have time to give you holy burial, but must at once cast you, scarcely coffined, into the ooze, where, for a monument over your bones, and for everlasting lamps, the belching whale and humming water must cover your body, lying with simple shells. O Lycorda, tell Nestor to bring me spices, ink and paper, my casket and my jewels, and tell Nicander to bring me the satin coffer. Lay the baby on the pillow. Hurry, while I say a priestly farewell to her. Quickly, woman. Lycorda exits. Sir, we have a chest below the hatches, cocked and sealed with pitch ready. I thank you. Mariner, tell me, what coast is this? We are near Tarsus. Then turn there, gentle mariner, alter your course from Tyre. When can you reach it? By break of day, if the wind stops. Oh, make for Tarsus. There I will visit Cleon, for the baby cannot survive the voyage to Tyrus. There I will leave her to careful nursing. Go your way, good mariner. I will bring the body presently. They exit. In a room in Cerimon's house at Ephesus, Cerimon enters with a servant and several people who have been shipwrecked. Fileman, ho! Fileman enters. Does my lord call? Bring fire and food for these poor men. It has been a rough and stormy night. I have lived through many storms, but until now I never endured a night like this. Your master will be dead before you return. Nothing can be given to nature now that can restore him. To Fileman, give this to the apothecary, and tell me how it works. All leave except Cerimon. Two gentlemen enter. Good morning. Good morning to your lordship. Gentlemen, why are you up so early? Sir, our lodging stands exposed upon the sea, and shook as if the earth were quaking. The very beam seemed to split, and everything seemed ready to fall. Sheer shock and fear made me leave the house. That is why we trouble you so early. It is not because we are such thrifty early risers. Ah, you speak reasonably. But I greatly wonder that your lordship, with such rich furnishings about you, should at these early hours shake off the golden sleep of rest. It is strange that nature should be so familiar with pain when she is not forced to be. I have always believed that virtue and skill are greater gifts than noble birth and riches. Careless airs may darken and spend away those last two, but immortality attends the first two, making a man almost a god. It is known that I have always studied medicine. Through that secret art, by reading authorities and joining that knowledge to practice, I have made familiar to myself, and useful to my help, the blessed powers that live in plants, metals, and stones. I can speak of the disorders nature causes and of her cures, and that gives me a truer and more lasting delight than thirsting after unstable honor, or tying up my pleasures in silk bags, only to please fools and death. Your honor has poured charity throughout Ephesus. Hundreds call themselves your creatures, restored by you. Not only your knowledge and your personal labor, but even your purse, always open, has built Lord Cerimon such strong renown that time shall never. 2 or 3 servants enter carrying a chest. There, lift it there. What is that? Sir, just now the sea threw this chest onto our shore. Comes from some wreck. Set it down. Let us look at it. It looks like a coffin, sir. Whatever it is wonderfully heavy. Wrench it open at once. If the sea's stomach is overfilled with gold, it is a fortunate pressure that makes it belch some up for us. It is, my lord. How tightly it is cocked and sealed with pitch. Did the sea cast it up? I never saw so huge a wave, sir, as the one that tossed it onto shore. Wrench it open. Gently. It smells most sweetly to me. A delicate odor. The sweetest that ever met my nostrils. Now lift it open. O you most powerful gods! What is here? A corpse. Most strange. Wrapped in royal cloth, embalmed and stored with full bags of spices. A written passport too. Apollo helped me read these characters. He reads from a scroll. Here I give to understand, if ever this coffin drifts to land, I, King Pericles, have lost this queen, worth all our earthly wealth. Whoever finds her, give her burial. She was the daughter of a king. Besides this treasure is a fee. May the gods repay his charity. If you live, Pericles, you have a heart that cracks with grief. This happened tonight. Most likely, sir. No, certainly tonight. Look how fresh she looks. They were too rough who threw her into the sea. Make a fire inside. Bring here all the boxes from my closet. A servant exits. Death may seize upon nature for many hours, and yet the fire of life may kindle again in the oppressed spirits. I heard of an Egyptian who had lain dead 9 hours, and was restored by proper treatment. A servant returns with napkins and fire. Well done, the fire and cloths. That rough and mournful music we have it played, I beg you. The viol once more. How slowly you move, you block. The music there. I pray you give her air. Gentlemen, this queen will live. Nature is waking. Warmth breathes out of her. She has not been entranced more than 5 hours. See how she begins to breathe life back into its flower.
Cerimon is Shakespeare's ideal learned physician, virtue joined to cunning, meaning skill, not trickery. In Ephesus, of all places, this is handsomely chosen, for the city's temple of Diana was one of the 7 wonders. A queen is revived here by fire, music, and physical. Later, the goddess herself will tidy the family accounts. Olympus, at last, keeps decent records.
Through you heaven increases our wonder and raises your fame forever. She is alive. Look, her eyelids, the cases of those heavenly jewels which Pericles has lost, begin to part their bright golden fringes. The diamonds of the finest water appear, making the world twice rich. Lave, and make us weep to hear your fate, fair creature, rare as you seem to be. She moves. Oh dear Diana, where am I? Where is my lord? What world is this? Is this not strange? Most rare. Hush, my gentle neighbors. Lend me your hands, carry her to the next chamber. Get linen. Now this matter must be carefully tended, for a relapse would be deadly. Come, come, and may Aesculapius guide us. They carry her away. Pericles enters with Cleon, Dionyza, and Lycorida, who carries Marina in her arms. Most honored Cleon, I must go. My 12 months here are over, and Tyrus is holding a troubled peace. You and your lady have all the thanks my heart can give. May the gods supply the rest of your reward. The arrows fortune has shot at you, though they have wounded you nearly to death, have glanced aside and struck us too. Oh, your sweet queen! If only the harsh fates had been pleased to let you bring her here, so my eyes might have been blessed by seeing her. We can only obey the powers above us. Even if I could rage and roar like the sea where she lies, the end must be as it is. My gentle child Marina, whom I named so because she was born at sea, I now entrust to your charity, leaving her as an infant in your care. I beg you to give her a princely upbringing, so that her manners may match her birth. Do not fear, my lord. Remember that your grace fed my country with your grain, and for that the people's prayers still fall upon you. Your kindness must be remembered in your child. If neglect of her should make me vile, the whole people, whom you relieved, would force me to my duty. But if my own nature needs any spur besides that, may the gods take revenge on me and mine, to the end of all my generations. I believe you. Your honor and goodness persuade me without your vows. Madam, until she is married by bright Diana, whom we honor, this hair of mine shall remain uncut, though I may look poorly for it. So I take my leave. Good madam, make me blessed by your care in bringing up my child. I have a child of my own, who shall not be dearer to my regard than yours, my lord. Madam, you have my thanks and prayers. We will bring your grace even to the edge of the shore, and there give you over to Mass Neptune and the gentlest winds of heaven. I will accept your offer. Come, dearest madam. Oh, no tears, Lycorida, no tears. Look after your little mistress, on whose favor you may depend hereafter. Come, my lord. They leave. Cerimon enters with Thaisa. Madam, this letter and these certain jewels were lying with you in your chest, and they are yours to command. Do you know the handwriting? It is my lord's. I well remember that I was taken aboard ship at sea when I was in labor, but whether I was delivered there by the holy gods I cannot rightly say. Since King Pericles, my wedded lord, I shall never see again, I will put on the dress of a vestal and never have joy any more. Madam, if this is your purpose, as you say, Diana's temple is not far away, where you may remain until your life is spent. Moreover, if you please, a niece of mine shall attend you there. My payment is thanks, that is all. Yet my goodwill is great, though the gift is small. They leave.
And there we leave part 3, with the family of Tyre scattered across the map, Pericles sailing for his kingdom, the infant Marina left at Tarsus with Cleon and Dionyza. Remember what gratitude they swore, and watch what time does to it, and Thaisa, believing her husband drowned, veiled as a goddess in Diana's temple at Ephesus. Husband, wife and daughter all live, and not one of them knows it. Next time, in part 4, 14 years pass, and envy does what the sea could not, a hired murderer on the shore, pirates in the nick of time, and a brothel in Mytilene that buys a girl it will bitterly regret. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly. And before the lamp goes out, a small request. If something tonight taught you, or surprised you, or simply delighted you, do leave a comment and tell me what it was. And if there is a work, an author, or a tale you should like me to take up next, set it down there as well. I read every one, and many an episode has begun its life as a viewer's suggestion. Until next time.